do. A lot of it, I'll be honest, a lot of my focus right now is on mental health, man. I be talking to like,
You was
college
crazy?
students and stuff and things like that.
You
I
already
talk to,
said
what do you say?
you was crazy.
Nah,
That message.
that's the truth though. Like, cause you think about it, you grow up with family members that think like, oh, he's just a crazy one, and oh, that's just your crazy uncle. But the reality is, yo, dude be having like, mental health issues. Your family be having these things, and nobody talk about it.
Right.
But that's how I was when I grew up. I mean, when I grew up, you have those family members. You like, yo, he a little off. But you don't know that he got, abused as a kid, or your aunt got touched. Like all these different things, man, I didn't learn until I got older and started going to school, and they started putting terminology with the words like mental health, and they really like brought it out. And the whole time I'm like, dang, I got mental health issues and I didn't even know it. Like I was traumatized, and I just got real interested in learning more about it and how to like cope with it, how to help other people, and then how to bring it back, to the community, because a lot of these kids, man, and people don't know this, right? A lot of these kids, and I learned this in a study, and then I learned it in real time with this young man that brought a knife to school last year. The school had called me, you know what I'm saying? And what happened was, long story short, after I talked to him, I took him to the zoo, got him out of his comfort zone, like kicked it with him. They brought me in as like the enforcer, to like discipline him. They brought me in as like the big black dude, like, yo, talk to him, give him that man talk, his daddy in his life. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I take him, and he's nervous at first, like thinking like, man, this dude about to try to, take me down to the prison, put me on scare straight. We took him to the zoo, kicked it with him. This kid was super smart, bro. Super intelligent. He loved volleyball. He was an artist. He was a gamer. Like he was ranked in the world on like Fortnite. Like crazy stuff, man. And they was labeling him as the bad kid when they had called me, like, yeah, he's gonna be a troubled kid. He's wilding out and stuff like that. He brought a knife to school, and I got down to it. I said, yo, why'd you bring a knife to school? Right before I dropped him off, and he said he was scared. He said the kids at school was bullying him. He's a kind of like a heavy-set black kid. He was getting bullied by his weight and things like that. And then they said they were going to get their older cousins to jump this kid, right? So he was scared to death. And I was like, yo, why didn't you tell your mom, right? And he was like, I tried to tell her, but she doesn't listen to me. And I'm like, yo, that's a common thing, bro.
Yeah.
Where your parents say, yo, just go ahead, get out the way or whatever, and they don't listen to you. And I'm like, yo, I've seen that repeatedly in my life and in other kids around the community, like their lives. And, I had to talk with his mother and things like that. And I check in with him from time to time. But the reality was he was scared. He didn't feel safe. He didn't feel like nobody was going to protect him. So he brought a knife to school to protect himself. And this is what he told me, right? Because they suspended him for 10 days, which I was kind of mad about. I was pissed off about, I'm not even going to lie. Because I'm like, what happens to the other kids? Like, y'all didn't reprimand the other kids that was bullying them. Like, what's up with that? Because now he's going to go back to school after 10 days, and they're going to send him to therapy, right? And he was so smart. Kid was only 11 years old. Kid, what's going on, man? Kid is 11 years old, and he was saying that they're going to send me to therapy, and they're going to say I have a mental health issue, but I'm just scared. And I'm like, bro, how does he know this at 11 years old? Because he's intelligent, but they've already labeled him as this heavy-set bad kid that brought a knife to school. He's a threat to the other students, not even realizing that he's a threat to himself. You know what I'm saying? Because they're bullying him. Like, what if he would have stabbed the kid, right? Or what if he'd have stabbed himself? What if he'd have killed himself? Like, there's too many stories of it. And during my studies, I was at school or whatever, my professor, I was taking a sociology class. She was like, study whatever interests you. So I started studying. And I found like staggering information, like statistics about young black kids, mainly ages 5 to 11 years old, are at the highest in regards to rankings and in regards to suicide. The highest, bro. And it's like, how do they even, like, what are you going through that's that bad that you want to kill yourself? But we live in that world, man, where it's like they live in a different world. They got YouTube, they got social media. The parents ain't listening. The old heads can't kick it with them. They don't feel like they can understand them. Like, they're like, oh, well, they soft. They just that. They not soft, man. They smart. They intelligent. But y'all label them like so early. It's insane, man. I felt for that kid. And then it started making me think, like, I got to do more in the community. Because I go to the colleges and I talk to the students. Because that's another thing. When I was at school, kids was committing suicide when I was on campus. Like, it was bugged out, bro.
That's what I was about to say. Not only will they label them, but they'll force kids to make them think that they gotta suppress their feelings.
Oh man, it's crazy.
It comes out in other stuff, whether it be anger, whether it be
and they be wilding, like kids overdose. You know what I'm saying? They get like alcohol poisoning. When I was at school, I'm not gonna say the school, put them on blast. When I was at school, last semester or whatever, it was reported that 4 kids had committed suicide. And that's like what is it? September to December? That's a September, October, November, 4-month span. it was reported that 4 committed suicide. I come to find out
4 months back.
in a 4 month span. I come to find out it was like 8 students. They swept it under the rug. I mean, yo, that's a real thing, bro. When you in school, like, how's school that bad? But it's like, yo, it's a lot of other stuff that plays into it. You know what I'm saying? That people aren't talking about.
Yeah, be mostly like peer pressure and stuff.
Oh, it's peer pressure, all types of stuff, and then they feel like they don't have anybody at home. All these different things, man, and it's yeah.
You good? You fine?
It's bugged out, man. So for me, it's more so like I get to do this obviously as a business, but it's more so like passion work, and it's like, yo, I feel like it's my purpose to go out there and do these things. Like I'm going to the College of St. Elizabeth tomorrow. It's actually why I'm getting cut now, because we're going out there to talk about social media related depression and anxiety to these students.
You got a job with the city? What are you doing?
Well, I got my own business, so they bring me in as like a consultant. So I come in and speak.
So what's your business?
It's called Building Muscle LLC.
So and I work profit.
Oh no, my business is for profit.
Okay.
Because I sell books and like merchandise and stuff too. So, but it's more so like I'm a liaison for the school's like health center. So like students see me, they see me as the cool kid, the black guy. You know, I'm young, I'm close to their age, and I talk in that language. And the way where they're like, yo, I need to check on my mental health too. Right. So now the school, you know, they're not too worried about kids committing suicide or having these mental health breakdowns because they have me as a resource, somebody that's young, that's relatable to them. So like tomorrow I'm going in, I'm gonna speak for an hour, and then we're gonna do like an hour Q&A. And they're also going to get books and everything. I'm hooking the students up with books. And I realized that it's really effective in that I'm the key for like that type of situation. Even with the middle schools and high schools, again, I'm that liaison. I'm the one that come in, I look like them. They respect me. I talk their language. You know, I'm not cursing or whatever, things like that, but I talk in a way where it's relatable. They don't feel like I'm on a pedestal, you know what I'm saying? Right. They can look down and they can talk to me. You know, I even did that on my birthday in December. I went over to Pleasantville High School, and Miss Chapman hooked it up. We had like 60 students in the classroom. And just their reaction to, you know, me, Les, and my guys coming in, young black guys coming into the school to talk to them. Yeah, they were so receptive. It was one young lady, before the class started, she was wilding. You can tell she'd be the one wilding at school, fighting everybody and stuff. She's wilding. And I'm talking to her. Halfway through the presentation, she's asking me questions. She's asking, how can she get my book? She's asking all these things. So we challenged the students when we got in there. It was like, yo, we're gonna set this up, right? If y'all can set a goal for the third quarter, you know, for y'all academics or whatever, set a goal, write it on a piece of paper. We're gonna take a picture with you right now. If you hit that goal, we'll give you a book and we're gonna give you a shirt or whatever. And we're gonna come back and kick it with you. So it's crazy because I kind of low-key forgot about it. It's on my calendar. Students found me on social media and reached out to me with pictures of their grades. Like one girl she wanted to get straight A's, plays basketball, young lady. She got straight A's, bro. She hit me like, yo, I did it, I got it, I did it. I'm just like, yo, that's huge, man. Yeah. That's huge. And I feel like we got to take a different approach, especially when it comes to school and understanding these kids, because they super intelligent. It's like in my head, even with the young man that brought a knife to school, it's like, how did nobody know that he loved volleyball? Like, why was y'all forcing him to play football? And
you know why? Because most of these schools, right? You think about it, right? You spend damn near 15 years, 12 years going to school, right?
Yeah.
You don't learn shit.
Facts.
Like you really like.
We was just talking about.
Yeah, you don't learn nothing. Like I mean, you learn how to do math,
basic skills,
and how to read.
Yeah.
But other than that, what else? Like you learn a bunch of stuff you don't need. So then you don't know that. You don't really know the interests of the students. You don't know. You can't figure out ways to keep them engaged. Like when I was in school, I went to well, it's ACIT now, but it was Votech back then, right?
Yeah,
so I went half a day to regular school and half a day there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, like they got vocational schools and stuff for high school, so you actually learning stuff that you're interested. Like you got the magnet programs and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we was growing up, well, a lot of even now, like they might waste. To me, I think it's a waste. Like if you're going from kindergarten all the way up to 9th grade, if you don't get in no vocational stuff, then it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know, you learning about like and that not like I like history, but you be learning history stuff that don't even be relevant.
Yeah, it's in a way where it's like we learning the same history from forever ago. Like when y'all gonna update the books, when y'all gonna put some stuff, especially in like urban communities, it's like, bro, when we gonna start learning about our history outside of Black History Month? Like some real, when we gonna learn about the inventors and the people that was wealthy. Like when it's
Look,
even.
Where did you learn to be an entrepreneur from?
Honestly, I learned it outside of school. It wasn't in school. I learned it from like traveling and seeing other people have things and do things. I started asking questions, and that's how I got exposed. Like I started reading books, but then I started listening to stuff, seeing videos. I'm like, yo, people living different. Yeah. And I'll credit some of that to basketball, honestly, because it helped me travel. Yeah. Like AAU, so I started seeing other people's lifestyle. I'm like, bruh.
But so what was your major in college?
It's crazy. When I first started, I was a business major, and my teacher was like a manager somewhere, and I was like, this is stupid, so I dropped the class.
That's why I asked you. I did the same shit.
Yeah.
I did the same shit.
I was like, I'm going to be a straight entrepreneur. Like, that's all I could think about. And then we got there, and I was like, oh, this isn't business.
Yo, I told my son the same thing. My son is in college now, right? Mm-hmm. And he's in nursing school, right? Now, mind you, when he was 12, 14, and I was trying to get him to come in here and cut hair and learn business. I even told him I pay him to manage his shop. He didn't want to do it, right? I said, I give you money, I give you a paycheck every week. You can manage the shop. Nah, I don't want to do that. All right, cool. So now he wants to change it. Well, he wanted to change his major from nursing to business. And so I told him, I said, bro, if you wanted to learn how to run a business, you should have came and worked in this one.
Yeah.
Because when I went to college, I was a business management major. Mm-hmm. And then the same thing, my teacher was like the manager of Foot Locker. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I don't want to work at Foot Locker and manage Foot Locker. So I was like, what was the point? Like, they just teach you how to run somebody else's business. Yeah. Where it's tools that you use, that you can learn in there that you can use here, but...
Oh, yeah, facts.
And you don't need no degree to run a business.
Yeah,
you know?
It's crazy, because when I started going back to school, I had switched my major, so I was focused on sociology and health. I did interpersonal studies, and I started doing stuff that I was interested in. Because when I first got there, it was like, yo, you got to do what makes money, but it's like, after a while, that joint wore off. I'm like, yo, what am I really interested in? And now... what I went back to school for is exactly what I'm doing every single day. So I'm focused on sociology, I'm focused on health, I'm focused on mental health, and learning these things. And I'm like, oh, you can turn anything into a business if you know what you're doing. Yeah. So that's what I was able to do. And, you know, I have the gift of influence, which I didn't know I had until I started speaking. And I was like, oh, shoot, this is a real thing. When people are asking, like, oh, what's your price? How much you charge? And it's like, oh, it's a real business.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And it's cool, man, because for me, it's like saving lives almost. That's how I feel about it. So I'm passionate about it. I get to wake up like, yo, I'm saving lives. Like, this is fire. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, man. It's like parents and, you know, if kids don't have parents, you know, teachers and community members, you know, people in the community, we got to get back to, like, teaching kids like some real stuff, because they're only going to get so much in that 8-hour school day. It's like, it's really your responsibility. Like, if you're just leaving it up to the school to teach them, you failing your kids, like, for real. And not for nothing, like, everybody can be an entrepreneur in some way, shape, or form. That don't mean you got to have this huge business. Teach them something, how to make their own money, because it's like, what happens when, you know, the job let them go? You're going to tell them to get a better job and get a good job. And I don't fault the older generation, because it's like, you know, my parents and then the older generations after that, it's like, yo, go get a good job, because that's really all they knew. Right. You know what I'm saying? Before that was like GM and all that. So it's like, yo, get a good job, get some benefits. Mm-hmm. But it's like they have so many resources now that it'd be a shame to tell them to go, like, just start working for somebody else. Now, if they're going to go get some experience, you know what I'm saying, get some skin in the game, then that's what's up. But at the same time,
to build a small capital.
To build some capital, like everybody, I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Build some capital, get that to fund whatever you're doing. But like,
have a plan.
It's so much access to information and just resources now. And like I said, these kids are extremely smart. I don't understand it, and they want them to learn the same way. That was one of my problems when it's, oh, he's a young man. He's trouble. He brought the knife to school. He's this. He don't really listen in class. Mind you, his grades is impeccable. You know what I'm saying? Because he's getting the work done so fast, but now he's bored. Yeah. And y'all not keeping his interest. Y'all want everybody to sit in a row like we in church. And it's like, I feel like even the classrooms need to be structured different. Like, they should be sitting in like circles or something. They should be standing up. They should be
so big.
Like, you want them to sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just listen to you? I can't even do that.
Yo, you know what else I find crazy too? Because I grew up in Galloway, in the Galloway school districts. Galloway and AHT, predominantly white. I was getting in trouble in school. I had to go to Pleasantville. When I went from Pleasantville to Galloway, first off, it was a whole shot. Like, it was different. It was way different. Kids were wilding out to the teacher. It was way different. But what the biggest difference was, we went from 17 to 18 kids in class to 34. One of the class had, like, I think Miss Murphy had like 41 kids in her class.
Man,
You talking about the Pleasantville?
Yeah, Pleasantville, Pleasant Tech.
Yeah.
Pleasant Tech. They said the
Oh, that was charter school.
They said, but they said the middle school was the same way. I went to the middle
Well,
school for
yeah.
like a month, so I don't even remember that crap. But
Man,
it was like
That's how it was when I was in
these
school.
classrooms, these kids can't learn.
Yeah, you just push them through.
yeah, because it's like when it gets to those, that many numbers in your classes, like at that point, you're just trying to get through the day. You can't really invest in them. So, but at the same thing, man, it's like we need more passionate teachers. Because I don't think people get into teaching for the money. I think at some point it's like I really want to help these students, but then you get beat down by the school system so much that you're just like, man, I'm trying to get up out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to get up out of there. But at the same time, we need to have more people step up, and teachers need to be treated a little better. They need some. They need some mental health days. They need certain rooms where they can just sit down and relax. I was talking to a teacher at Oakcrest, and they were trying to set up a special room where it's like almost like their meditation kind of room where they can go in there and just shut down for an hour.
They need that for students too.
They need these things. I'm just like, man.
Do you know the messed up part though too? They need. It's fucked up because like with our communities now, like the family don't teach you nothing hardly. No. They just send you to school and they dependent on the teacher to teach you everything.
Teach you everything.
You know what I mean? Like you got to do some of the work.
And then you mad at them when their grades not right or they doing this. But it's like, yo, you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not teaching them. You're not stepping in. It's like, it's a shame if you're not going to come to the parent-teacher meeting. So it's kind of crazy, man. But it's a lot of work we all got to do.